thing, I'm gonna tell you guys what content creation is so that abantu abangayaziyo could get an understanding of what content creation is. So a content refers to any information, pictures, videos that a person posts online for the audience, basically. So anything that you post on social media, that is content. For example, the statuses in his post on Facebook, or the pictures on Instagram, the TikTok videos, all of those things, they form part of the content creation. So that is content. So creation is basically you doing that thing. I don't only give my own definition, but I like educated definition. So the dictionary says content creation is a process of generating topic ideas that appeal to your buyer persona, creating written or visual content around those ideas, and making that information accessible to your audience as a blog, video, infographic, and other formats. So basically, this dictionary definition, align was not related. So now, why is content important? And I'm sure a lot of people, they ask themselves, why is content so important? So reason number one, it is that content, it is an inbound marketing practice. Inbound meaning it travels from one place to another. Okay? So in this case, it is focused on marketing, which in marketing is the process and business of promoting or selling a product or a service. So whenever you're creating content, you create a content with the sole vision and mission, you want to sell a product or a service that you are creating content of. And the second point is that when you're creating content, you provide your target market with free and useful information. For example, I was part of a campaign with Always South Africa. The name of the campaign is #SpillingTea with Always. So basically what we had to do was to encourage our audience to talk about their leakage stories in order to promote the new pad they always that just introduced, which is Always Trees. So la pad ina features that other pads have got always that they don't have. For example, and pads anyway. Good time don't you wing or whatever, but like apemva in there. So obviously you can't actually so that is information that people didn't know, and now via Yaz through us with la content creators. But get before Namdi that's always. Don't die. Yes. So the third point, it is to lure people into a product or a service. So when you say you lure, you're saying you manipulate people to want to buy into this product. Because obviously, when they see something that is visually appealing, obviously they are bound to buy phone. Typical example for this, and I'm so glad Mama have you guys seen how their Instagram is? You actually want to have, but I want it because of how it is presented to you. I present so that is why it is important to create content, because that is another way that you can get people to want to buy into your product or your brand. Okay, then we're moving on to the second part of this content creation. So obviously now that you know about why is it important to create content, surely you know, I want to get into brands, I want to work with brands. So what is it that I need to do in order for brands to notice me? You need to have a good social media page or pages. So with social media, they need to align with your vision and mission in life. What you believe in when yourself. For example, can one of you tell me why they entered Miss KWT? What is the reason? What are you hoping to get out of this whole pageant that you guys are in right now?
The experience and the grooming that we get, because we learn things that we didn't know, so the knowledge.
Okay.
Not joke.
One for the team.
Okay.
Like you, it is in man it is because of the full experience elinye ihlobo lezi pages because I'm used to local pages which is andizazi lezi bootcamp andizazi lezi I know that from 18 and I only go there ngaloo day and bazi abantu ezongenelela abantu ndizabaqala ubabona phayana ba okay onalo nto njena enexabiso nto nje ndimazi la moment after that iphelile akho nto uzaphinda ube phayana so I wanted to see something different the experience
but it's fine. So guys, modeling I feel like even though Nina experience in modeling but but usually whenever abantu they enter into modeling they always have like an initiative that they want to push, either blanket, charity or whatever. There's always that thing that push. And sometimes like it's not easy to open up a non-profit organization and so rather you gain image yakho phayana uzokwazi uyisebenzisa now to open doors for you. So that's why most people abangenela pages. But then now does your social media align with data? Because now brands is all so meaning now the content that you produce on your social media platform, it has to be purposeful and it has to be intentional. It align inside. So that when you walk on that stage, unga walk it just because you want people to be screaming your name or we ask about why you're doing this, because that's where you're gonna draw confidence because it's deeper than you looking pretty. Everyone is pretty. That's why nakhona bebanazo neza questions just to challenge your intelligence because it's not just about beauty. You need to have brains as well. So social media, it's a good place to start London because social media has a large audience. So that's why first you need to work on your social media. You can't just say whatever thing you want to say, especially when you're doing this, because as a model now we brand ambassador, you represent even Miss KWT style. Then the second thing, you need to also discover your niche. I don't know if it's niche or niche, whatever, but they call it niche. So in niche, it refers to a category that your content is going to be focused on. This ranges from fashion, beauty, lifestyles, whatever. So you just need to find your own. So for me, it's edutainment, it's lifestyle, it's beauty. So when you know about Ayako EP, then you need to hold on to that and just run with it. The next point is you also need to invest in good quality equipment. This one is very important, especially when you are in the content creation space, because the content yako has to be visually appealing. You need to have a ring light, because even if and then you take a picture, it's not going to come out the same, because lighting is really much important. So a ring light, you need to have it, it's compulsory. Then you invest in a phone that takes good quality pictures. This is Amazon. Yes. Good. So the last point with attracting brands now is in research. It's very much important for you to do research about the brands, about content creation, and when you're doing research, that's when you improve yourself. So in research, it's not only limited to assignments. Also with content creation, the same thing applies, because you need to. Then the last part that we're going to talk about, it is the important tips I want to give you guys when it comes to content creation. So the first one, as I've said already, you need to draw inspiration from someone, somewhere. And when you're drawing inspiration, how it's done, and you have feel and then you try to recreate it your own way. You don't copy what the person has already done. You draw inspiration, because even nalapha, yes, in the boot camp, you teach her these things and these teach her, but it doesn't mean that no getting any fun. Is there to add on what you guys already have, and then you bring your look and feel to it. That is what is going to make you win. Then the second point is, when you're creating content, if you don't have a phone, a 30 pictures is right. find a photographer that can help you. Obviously a reasonable one, and one that knows how to take pictures. And in that same breath as well, learn how to edit your own pictures or your own content. Most content creators, when they're editing, they use Facetune 2 and Lightroom. YouTube has tutorials over those things. And number 3, find your best lighting. And now when it comes to lighting, you have to make sure that ilanga, if you are relying on natural lighting or a window or shutela oil or a ring light, it has to always be in front of you. And then the last point is that you also need to be active and show engagement to other content creators, right? This is the same thing even with you guys. Remember, not going to follow each other. All of you are supposed to be following each other. And be present. We content that everyone that is here, so that you can push the hashtag that you guys have. Yeah, and when you guys are sharing each other's content, it makes it easier for other people to be aware, because you guys are not from the same places. Yeah, I need to cover some talk about the king, back some more team. So if you guys come together, then all those places needs a representative are gonna know about Miss Kingdom style. It doesn't mean that Nogan is a winner, some are not, but even though Ning is a winner, there will be something that you go home with. Yeah, and you're gonna go home and improve that day. So if you prioritize that, you don't know what that relationship could get you. Not for me, it got me on TV. Oh, on Instagram. Do Princess Daweti on all my social media platforms. Princess Daweti, Daweti.